you very much indeed, Eve, for that warm introduction, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The great Taoist philosopher Lao Tzu once said famously, "A journey of 1,000 li begins with a single step." I'm plagiarizing the Tao Te Ching by calling my few remarks, "The road to peace starts with one small step." And peace is what unites everyone in this room, that aspiration for peace. And peace is much more than just an absence of war. And I say that as someone who's worked as a correspondent in conflict situations now for half a century, starting with the Vietnam War, where I was in 69 and 71, right through to the Syrian conflict that's going on today. And sometimes people say, but why do you like war? Why do you go to all these terrible situations? And I said, no, it's because I like peace that I go to these terrible situations, to tell people what's happening and to try and understand how conflict can be resolved. Now, as was mentioned in the introduction, I wrote a book, my first book, about the Great Wall of China, a history of the Great Wall of China. And this was because after my time in the Vietnam War, I came back to England, went to university, studied Chinese, and went on to do Chinese studies in Hong Kong and Taiwan. At the time, unfortunately, I couldn't go to the People's Republic because the Cultural Revolution was in full swing, and the nearest I got to mainland China at that stage was looking over a pole from Macau into the neighbouring province. Since then, I've been many times, of course. But when I wrote the book about the Great Wall, although it was a history of who built the wall, which bits when and how, and it was really about why. And this fascinating question, why did the Chinese people want to set a limit? It was as if saying, everyone inside the wall is our family, and that's good, and everyone beyond, forget it. And I thought, that's really a sort of symbol for our current conflict-ridden age. And much of our task, I believe, as peace builders, as I hope we all are in our small way, is about breaking down walls, building bridges, and establishing peace in its true sense. I'm glad we had a brief introduction to Taiji earlier, because there was mention there of harmony, and for me, there can be no peace without harmony. Just as there can be no peace between peoples unless we understand and we communicate. It's not a question of tolerating other people or tolerating other religions and ethnicities. It's accepting and working with people. Now, of course, the history of Anglo-Chinese relations has been littered with unfortunate incidents, a British understatement might call some of the history of the 19th century. But I hope that now things are moving in a good forward direction. And I welcome the fact that although the People's Republic of China did cut itself off largely from the world during the time of Chairman Mao, that situation has changed now, and China is re-establishing its rightful position in the world community, and I welcome that. And of course, overseas Chinese, as in Britain we tend to refer to Chinese abroad, have a very important role to play in that. Now, in Chinese literature, and I probably don't need to tell most people in this room that, the four-character phrase is crucial. In poetry, in political slogans, indeed we have two examples on scrolls on the walls here. But my favourite four-character phrase, which fits in today, is one that's used often by the China's People's Peace Freedom Movement, though it's not on the board behind me today. And that's Tianxia, Yijia, one family under heaven. That's who we are. That's how we must move forward, one small step at a time.